Mercedes is bringing a massive upgrade that is scaring rivals. Hamilton reveals real reason for Ferrari's underperformance, and Verstappen gets advised on what his next move should be. Let's get into the latest F1 news. Lewis Hamilton, a name synonymous with Formula One, has recently found himself in a challenging position at Ferrari. He's been cautioned that he won't have the luxury of time that he enjoyed at Mercedes. The pressure is mounting, and it's clear that he needs to ignite his passion to reverse the situation after a rough start. Despite the excitement that often accompanies a switch to a legendary team like Ferrari, Hamilton's initial optimism has quickly transformed into frustration. As the first quarter of the F1 2025 season unfolds, Hamilton is struggling to match his teammate Charles Leclerc. With aspirations of clinching a record-breaking 8th world title slipping further away, the stakes are high. Jacques Villeneuve, the 1997 F1 world champion, has commented on Hamilton's current predicament per P, indicating that the image Hamilton is projecting isn't suitable for a team like Ferrari. According to Villeneuve, Hamilton's discontent is palpable. He observed that as Hamilton's struggles continue, it's increasingly evident in his comments and demeanor. When a driver begins to express doubts, he risks losing credibility and trust, not just from the team, but from fans and analysts alike. Villeneuve's insights emphasize the urgency of Hamilton's situation. Ferrari is known for its passionate and sometimes volatile nature, likened to a volcano. To succeed in such an environment, drivers must bring a spark, an infectious enthusiasm. Unfortunately, Hamilton's subdued presence is raising eyebrows. He has openly acknowledged the challenges he faces in adapting to the SF25 car and has not yet provided a clear timeline for improvement. Moreover, Hamilton's recent experiences in Miami highlighted issues beyond just car performance. His criticism of Ferrari's decision-making showcased his frustration with what he perceives as a lack of teamwork. In a sport where split-second decisions can make or break a race, feeling detached from strategic choices can be demoralizing for a driver striving for excellence. Villeneuve further elaborated on Hamilton's situation, noting that while he had the patience and time at Mercedes to find his footing, Ferrari operates on a different timeline. The urgency to perform is far more pronounced, and there's little room for complacency. Hamilton needs to find his rhythm quickly, or risk becoming an afterthought in a team that values results and passion above all else. Reflecting on his past experiences, Villeneuve pointed out how Hamilton faced similar struggles last season against George Russell at Mercedes. However, the familiarity and established legacy there afforded him a buffer that Ferrari does not currently provide. The excitement of a potential spark during the sprint race in China fell flat without follow-through, leaving Hamilton and his supporters yearning for more. As the F1 circus prepares to return to Europe, where the schedule may offer a brief respite, questions loom over Hamilton's ability to rebound. He appears unable to pinpoint the reasons behind his struggles, and with forthcoming races, particularly Monaco on the horizon, the pressure will be mounting. In the world of Formula One, where performance is paramount, Hamilton's journey with Ferrari is being observed closely. Will he reignite the fireworks that Ferrari is known for? Only time will tell, but one thing is certain: he needs to rise to the challenge and rekindle that passionate spark that has defined his illustrious career. Lewis Hamilton's journey at Ferrari has been tumultuous, to say the least. Despite the party atmosphere surrounding his arrival, things haven't settled as anticipated. Former champion Jacques Villeneuve believes there's still time for Hamilton to prove his value to Ferrari. He notes that Lewis brings an undeniable image to the team, essential for their brand, but warns that self-doubt could hinder his comeback. Villeneuve highlights the challenge Hamilton faces, moving from a protected environment at Mercedes to the pressure cooker that is Ferrari. The ace driver, who has triumphed in the past, now finds himself navigating a more complex landscape. After years of championship battles and the fallout from a heartbreaking loss to Max Verstappen, it appears Lewis may be feeling the effects of the intense mental strain. The new Ferrari should have fired him up, especially following a promising sprint race, but the reality has been a continuation of struggles reminiscent of his last years at Mercedes. The passionate Italian fans add another layer of pressure. Villeneuve contends that Hamilton is mentally strong, but he needs the right support around him to thrive. While last season's car seemed manageable, concerns arise regarding the team dynamics and engineering setup. Is there enough freedom for Lewis to influence his driving experience, or does the team impose too many restrictions? These questions resonate as the tension builds during the current season. As Hamilton adapts to Ferrari, fellow driver Esteban Ocon empathizes with his situation. Adjusting from the familiar feel of Mercedes to new machinery takes time, and both drivers understand the nuances of this transition. Only time will reveal Hamilton's path forward in his Ferrari saga. Alain Prost has some thought-provoking advice for Lando Norris and Oscar Piastri as their intense battle in the F1 2025 season heats up. According to Prost, the contrasting personalities of these two McLaren drivers may play a crucial role in their competition. Currently, both drivers are dominating the championship standings, with Piastri leading Norris by 16 points and Norris maintaining a solid lead over Max Verstappen of Red Bull. As the season progresses, fans are eager to see who will come out on top in this fascinating showdown between teammates. With McLaren's MCL39 proving to be the fastest car on the grid, the competition between Norris and Piastri has become more than just a race on the track. It's evolving into a gripping psychological battle. Norris, with his greater experience at McLaren since 2019, held the early advantages, but Piastri's recent surge, 4 wins in the last 5 races, indicates that he's hitting his stride. This momentum could give him the upper hand, as he has made fewer mistakes than his teammate. Intense teammate rivalries are nothing new in Formula One. History is replete with examples of friendships cracked under the pressure of competition, like Lewis Hamilton and Nico Rosberg's fierce battles, or the infamous rivalry between Alain Prost and Ayrton Senna at McLaren in the late 1980s. These pairings delivered electrifying seasons, but they often struggled to coexist peacefully while vying for the same ultimate goal. Reflecting on his own experiences, Prost emphasizes that while racing skills and natural talent are indeed paramount, the psychological aspect of motorsport is equally significant. Motorsport is played out in the mind, he explains. With the influence of social media, drivers face additional pressures that could affect their performance both on and off the track. One driver navigating this landscape is Oscar Piastri. Known for his quieter demeanor, he contrasts starkly with the more outgoing Norris. Prost recognizes that Piastri's reserved personality may provide him with a crucial advantage over his lively teammate. By maintaining a low profile and focusing on his craft without the distractions that come with public visibility, Piastri might be better equipped to handle the mental pressures of the season. Prost's one piece of advice for Piastri? Keep quiet. This could be the mantra that helps him navigate a path to championship glory. As the 2025 season unfolds, it's the psychological game, as much as the physical one, that will ultimately decide who will take home the title. Stay tuned as we monitor the progressing rivalry between Norris and Piastri, both the thrilling action on the track and the mental chess match that will define their 2025 championship journey. As the 2025 F1 season gains momentum, questions surrounding team dynamics become increasingly vital. Lando Norris, known for his open discussions about his performances and challenges, embraces a candid approach. While this authenticity reflects his character, veteran Alain Prost raises concerns. He suggests that Norris's transparency might provide a strategic edge to his rival, Oscar Piastri. Prost emphasizes that by showcasing his vulnerabilities, Norris could inadvertently alter perceptions within his team. This sentiment resonates with broadcaster Tom Clarkson, who points out the influence that former driver Mark Webber, now Piastri's manager, has on the young talent. With Webber's experience navigating teammate dynamics, he's ensuring Piastri avoids pitfalls faced by others, including Norris, during their development. Interestingly, while Webber remains a guiding force, he admits to being puzzled by Piastri's occasionally closed-off demeanor. This mystery could be a source of frustration for Norris, who now has to compete not just against Piastri's skills on the track, but also against this psychological unknown. As we look ahead to the races, every interaction, on or off the track, impacts the championship narrative. The interplay between Norris and Piastri isn't just a matter of speed, it's a battle of wits, with both drivers poised to influence their team's fortunes and their own legacies in F1. Stay tuned as the European season unfolds, illuminating the intricacies of this riveting rivalry. Max Verstappen has been making waves lately, not just with his exceptional driving skills, but also with his future plans in Formula One. He's expressed a desire to explore other racing series beyond F1, and now the spotlight is on his potential choices for the 2026 World Championship. Reportedly, his options include staying with Red Bull, moving to Mercedes, or even joining Aston Martin. Zak Brown, the CEO of McLaren Racing, has weighed in on this situation, sharing his thoughts on what Verstappen should do. Brown believes that Verstappen should remain a part of the Red Bull team. This perspective is grounded in a deeper insight into the competitive landscape that could unfold in 2026. Why is Brown so keen on Verstappen staying with Red Bull? The answer lies in the anticipation surrounding the 2026 season, which promises to bring about the biggest changes Formula One has seen. New regulations are set to reshape the sport, introducing smaller, lighter cars along with revamped technology. Notably, for the first time, there will be a 50-50 split in power output between internal combustion engines and electric power. This kind of massive overhaul raises a pivotal question. Who will emerge victorious in this new era of F1 racing? Historically, the last significant engine overhaul back in 2014 led to Mercedes' domination until 2020. Similarly, Red Bull triumphed from 2021 to 2024 following significant aerodynamic changes. Now, as we gear up for 2026, both teams are eyeing a fresh start, but with a much different set of rules in play. Brown's concerns about a potential switch to Mercedes stem from their past successes. Mercedes previously stunned the competition with their powerful engines. With the team reportedly satisfied about their engine performance during testing, Brown fears that this history could repeat itself, putting Red Bull at a disadvantage should Verstappen make a move. In essence, the next chapter for Max Verstappen in Formula One is still unwritten. With major regulation changes coming up, including a significant shift in technology, his decision could shape not just his career, but also the dynamics of the sport itself. Fans are left wondering, will he stay with the team that has brought him success, or will he take a leap into a potentially new and competitive environment? The next few years are bound to be thrilling for motorsport enthusiasts as this story continues to unfold. If you ask McLaren's Brown, he prefers to see Max Verstappen driving at Red Bull rather than Mercedes. He expresses confidence in Mercedes' capabilities based on their track record and overall demeanor. It seems their comfortable stance on upcoming regulations suggests they are not looking to make drastic changes. Meanwhile, Brown isn't surprised by Red Bull's recent struggles. Losing key figures like Adrian Newey and Rob Marshall certainly impacts any team. He mentions the positive contributions of Rob, who now serves as chief designer for McLaren. As for Verstappen, who has a contract with Red Bull until 2028, there's speculation about performance clauses that may allow an early exit. He stands out this season as the only non-McLaren driver to clinch a victory, emphasizing his impressive skill set. Recently, Verstappen tested a Ferrari GT3 car, indicating his interest in expanding his racing repertoire. This secret test could be a stepping stone towards new ambitions, as he reportedly plans to apply for a special racing license. With the European season ramping up, several big questions loom over Formula One. From analyzing team dynamics to tracking driver performances, fans are eager to see how it all unfolds. Whether Verstappen will continue to navigate the Red Bull terrain or explore new opportunities, one thing's for sure, this season holds the potential for thrilling developments that race fans won't want to miss. Stick around as we continue to follow these exciting storylines and uncover what the future holds. As we stand 6 races into the F1 2025 championship, it's clear that McLaren is on fire. They've established a commanding presence, leading both title races with a remarkable 95-point advantage over Mercedes in the constructors' standings. Their drivers, Oscar Piastri and Lando Norris, find themselves in a fierce battle at the top of the drivers' standings, with Piastri currently leading by 16 points. Max Verstappen is lurking just behind, but not too far back is George Russell from Mercedes, who's been performing consistently with 4 podium finishes so far this season. Now, let's talk about the intriguing challenges facing McLaren. As brilliant as their season has been, they're not just contending with their opponents on the track, they also have internal pressures. And then there's the matter of Mercedes and their much-anticipated upgrades coming at the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix. This race is more than just another event. It marks the beginning of a pivotal stretch in the season as a string of 9 European races comes into play. All teams, including the Brackley squad, are gearing up for intense updates, and Mercedes is particularly optimistic about their W16 package. Their technical director, James Allison, shed some light on this, hinting at improvements in both performance and tire management, which could significantly enhance their chances moving forward. Brundle expressed just how exciting these upgrades are for Mercedes. He stresses the importance of remaining competitive, especially with so many points still up for grabs in this season. In fact, there are 18 races along with 4 sprint events ahead. Those additional sprint points will be crucial, especially since the fastest lap point has been eliminated this year, a change that has drawn some criticism from fans and pundits alike. In summary, as we look ahead to the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix, all eyes will be on the developments from Mercedes. Their upgrades could potentially shake things up in the standings, making it a thrilling race to watch. Can George Russell make a surprise charge for the title? Only time will tell, but one thing is for sure. This season is far from over, and the excitement is only just beginning. Make sure to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more updates as the F1 season unfolds. But there's an interesting caution for McLaren amidst their dominance. Focusing too intently on their own intra-team battle between Piastri and Lando Norris could be their downfall. History shows us that when teams zero in on internal competition, they risk losing sight of their championship contenders. Alain Prost famously capitalized on such distractions back in 1986 against the Williams team. So, the question arises, can McLaren stay focused without getting in each other's way? As the season progresses, the challenge heightens. Waiting until someone is mathematically out of contention can push critical decisions to the end of the season. McLaren may need to decide much sooner, potentially before the summer break, if they want to ensure they capitalize on their current momentum in the standings. In the meantime, George Russell believes this season will be primarily about McLaren. He acknowledges their current dominance, especially as conditions become more favorable for their performance. Russell admits he doesn't view himself as a championship contender right now. He sees McLaren at their peak and hints that their recent performances might be the best they will showcase this season. It's clear that while McLaren is basking in their success, they must remain vigilant of the competition. As the races unfold, every point counts, and staying consistent is vital. Who knows how the dynamics will shift as the season progresses? The stage is set, and the race for the championship is just heating up. Be sure to like, subscribe, and follow along as we navigate through this thrilling F1 season.